watching 3 the Smart Way. We hope that you enjoy our channel, and if you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. So today's topic is fertility. Fertility is a big deal. A lot of people don't talk about what worked for them. So we want to share what worked for us. There are lots of different ways to get to the end destination of a baby. There's in vitro, there's surrogacy, there's adoption, there's pharmaceutical drugs like Clomid, there's scar tissue removal if you have that, there's holistic therapy like castor oil packs, and then there's also holistic therapy in terms of vitamins. So what we did is we took a lot of different, I took a lot of different supplements and my husband only took one, but I tried a lot of different holistic vitamins and supplements, and we now have a beautiful 10-month-old baby girl. I just want to give all glory to God for our wonderful baby. She's happy, she's healthy, and also he showed me what to use for my body. So maybe some of these things might work for you. I'm gonna put in just like a still shot of everything that I used, so that you can take a picture of it, and if there's something that you'd want to try, I'll make sure I'll leave all the links to Amazon of everything that we used. So you might not want to try everything, but you might want to try one of the supplements. So what I'm going to do right here is just put in the still shot. Okay, great. I am going to explain what supplements I used, what dosage I took, how long I took it for, and how long or what we took throughout pregnancy. So I'm just going to talk about my journey and how I got to add into different supplements with my, in terms of my regimen. Okay, so it took us 1.5 years to get pregnant. At about 7 months, so I was off. We got married. Usually about 1 year, people start trying to have a baby. So I got off of birth control. I wasn't really thinking about it as much when I got off birth control. I'm just thinking, oh, it'll happen, right? And then about 7 months later, we weren't pregnant. So I'm like, well, maybe something's wrong with me, what do I need to do? So I had ran across this website called Fair Haven Health, which now I call it Fair Heaven because it helped us have a beautiful baby. But I ran across this website called Fair Haven Health, and it had some supplements on there that was created by a gynecologist. His name was Amos Greenbaum. He worked with a team of OBGYNs to provide supplements that help you balance out your hormones. Okay, so I didn't know if anything was wrong with my hormones. I was just thinking, oh wow, that sounds great. What if my hormones are imbalanced? Because all we do is we go and Google everything and we just see if we're okay, right? We're like, oh, what is this? I need to try this. What if something's wrong with me? And then you self-diagnose, right? So I went on their website and I read all of their reviews, and a lot of the women were in the same position as me where they didn't know if anything was wrong. They just took these supplements to balance out their hormones, and then voila, they were pregnant, right? So I actually took Fertilaid right here, and it's the same thing as what actually is like a prenatal on steroids. It balances out your hormones and you don't have to take a prenatal. So I took this, and then I also took Ovaboost. This is recommended for women over the age of 30, just for egg quality, to boost your oxidative health and to make sure the eggs are just at optimal levels, right? So I started taking those, and I had read that if you are 30 that you need to go and see a gynecologist to get checked out to see if everything's okay if you've been trying to have a baby for 1 year. So if you're 35, you need to go see a gynecologist within 6 months so they can make sure everything is okay, everything's working well, your husband or your partner, like they're at, they're at optimal levels as well, right? So I took these 2 supplements and I was taking them for 4 months. Because everyone said take it at least 3 months, 4 months, and then, a lot of people get pregnant. So at about 4 months, I hadn't got pregnant. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not working. Something else is wrong with me, right? I scheduled an appointment with a fertility specialist. So we went to the fertility specialist and he's like, yeah, nothing's wrong. We don't see anything wrong with you. And they checked my husband and they're like, nope, we don't see anything wrong with him, at all either. So, they're like, well, maybe you have smaller cysts, that you can't see, that are like kind of just not like minuscule, like just they can't see in under a microscope or, with their x-ray. Right? So I was like, okay, maybe I do have those. So I had thought about, a long time ago, I had a bartholin cyst, and I had read about Serrapeptase getting rid of these, of a bartholin cyst, and a lot of people were using them, or using Serrapeptase also to get rid of any type of scar tissue that they had. So I'm like, okay, let me go back and look up, what is it called? It was Serrapeptase, right? So I go and I look up Serrapeptase, which looks like this. This is 120,000 milligrams. So I go and I ordered Serrapeptase, not this particular brand. I ordered a brand of Serrapeptase. I didn't feel any different, right? I was like, well, maybe I don't have a cyst. And then something told me, which I was just like, God, is this it? And I actually went to YouTube and I saw somebody's video where they use Serrapeptase to get rid of scar tissue, where people have endometriosis. I didn't have that, but I thought, hey, it couldn't hurt. If anything's in my system, it'll remove it, right? So I actually picked up this brand based on somebody else's video, and these 2 teas. So this tea is Xian Cao and Mu Cao. And this is what they use to cleanse out their system. So it was a lot of women who had done the dye test, and they put the dye through their tubes and nothing came out. And then after taking these 3 supplements together, the blue dye came out of both sides of their tubes, right? So what Serrapeptase does is it's an enzyme it's a digestive enzyme that comes from the belly of silkworms, right? I know it sounds crazy, but it comes from the belly of silkworms, and it helps them break down their cocoon, right? So in our bodies, what it does is it breaks down like extra proteins, like dead tissue, eats up pus, eats up scar tissue. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take this. I saw another girl's video where she was telling the dosage of what she took, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to take 10 of these a day for a month to clean out my system. So at 120,000 SPUs, I took 10 of these a day, 5 in the morning with nothing on my belly. So right in the morning, 5 of these. And then at night, 5 of these. Right before I went to bed, every night for 1 month. So I did pass something. There's things that can come out if you do take this. Like I actually when I first started taking this, I felt like old, like basketball injuries or like sports injuries. I could feel them like almost like cricking, and I'd hear crack, 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 and I wouldn't be doing anything at all. So you can feel it working throughout your body. And then I went to the restroom once, and then something shot out, like 3 things. And something told me to look down. I looked down, and it was just like tissue. So I don't know if you'll have that same type of experience, but that's what happened with me. I continue to take 2 a day, so 1 in the morning, 1 at night without food, only before I ovulated, like up until ovulation time. So during my period, after my period until it was time to ovulate. That's the only time I took them. 1 in the morning, 1 at night, up until ovulation. And then after I had my period, again, I would do the same thing. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Also with the Fertilaid and the Ovaboost, I took these up until the point I got pregnant. And this is 3 capsules a day and 4 capsules of the Ovaboost a day. I didn't do like onesie, twosie, 1 here, 1 there after every meal. I just took 7. I just took them all at night. Okay? So I didn't want to have to think about what I have to take, like, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So I took 7 at night. These 2 together at night. And then the Serrapeptase, 1 in the morning, 1 at night, after that first whole month of just cleansing out my system of if I had any type of cyst or if there was any type of debris or anything in my body. So I took those, and then with the Xian Cao, I drank one cup of this a day. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. The best way to do this for me was just to get in a little espresso cup, because I felt like, why would it kind of tastes like dirt. So I just don't want to drink a whole cup of like dirt water. I mean, if you like coffee, I guess it's like coffee, like with no sugar or cream, right? So I just had an espresso cup, and then I'll show you what they look like. So Mu Cao and Xian Cao, they are, they're from China, and it's almost like dandelion root is too in the United States, but it's a Chinese motherwort, and it increases circulation and blood flow to the uterus and also throughout your body, but a lot of people use it for fertility. So this is a little scooper. Both of them look exactly like this. So I will take 1 scoop of Mu Cao, and I would take 1 scoop of Xian Cao, right? Same thing, little scooper. This will last you forever, like, honestly. It's good for postpartum as well, like just to get rid of any extra tissue or lochia you have in your body. So I would do this. And I would fill this up with hot water, let it set a little, for a second, just so you don't burn your tongue, right? And just take it like a shot, if you can do that. Maybe like 2 shots. Just down it. Don't think about it. It's disgusting to me, but it's worth it, right? Because we have a baby. So I did that. I did the Serrapeptase. I started that in January. We got pregnant in May. So Serrapeptase was actually almost 6 months. Now the Fertilaid, it was going on, almost 1.5 years for that. Almost 1.5 years for these. And we still weren't getting pregnant. So it's at about 14 months now. Right, 14 months. The fertility specialist said there's nothing wrong. I'm doing all of these holistic therapies. Still, I'm trying to listen to my body. I'm like going onto these calendars, and I'm marking what my day is like. And I noticed that I had breast sensitivity, right? Like for about 1.5 weeks before I menstruated. So I go and I'm like, that's a sign, right? Why didn't I think of that? So I go and I look up breast sensitivity, and I'm like up all night and I'm Googling everything. and a lot of people said that like B9, B6, and B12 are kind of like a secret to fertility, that a lot of people don't have enough of it, because actually if you're estrogen dominant, so my breasts were sore, so I was thinking, okay, I'm estrogen dominant, I don't have enough progesterone in my system, right? And so these things, so L-arginine and B complex actually move over the estrogen and increase progesterone in your body, right? And you need progesterone because when the baby like implants, so the egg drops and then, you know, it's fertilized and then it has to implant into your uterine lining to make the placenta so that they can live, right? So if you don't have enough progesterone, that's what helps the baby live until the placenta takes over. So you might be pregnant like every month, or, you know, or a couple of months, and you might not just be housing the baby correctly. Like they might not be able to survive because you don't have enough progesterone. So I took these two supplements, B complex and L-arginine. I added this in one month prior to us getting pregnant. Okay? 1 month. So adding these in, and I'll go back through everything like to just make it a little bit clearer at the end. So I added these in 1 month before we got pregnant. And I didn't have breast soreness, tenderness, anything like that. And we were pregnant the month that I used these, right? I continued these two supplements and a regular prenatal for the duration of our pregnancy. A lot of people take L-arginine if they have preeclampsia. And I asked my doctor about the B complex. They said it was fine. There are no adverse effects. It's not going to hurt the baby. It's a vitamin, right? They're like, you don't need, I mean, it's not like a vitamin A or anything. So B is completely safe. So, and I took B complex. I took two of these. No, I took one of these a day. This is what they look like. I don't know if you can see that. One of these a day. And then the L-arginine, I took 2 of these a day. Okay? The other thing that we had that was, it was just like a godsend that the fertility specialist told us about. He said that you need like an ovulation test. And we had already had an ovulation test, and the ovulation test we had gave you like 5 days and had like this smiley face on there for 5 days. And he's like, no, you don't need that one. You need the Clearblue Easy, the pink ovulation test. It has like a pink cap on it. And I'll insert a picture here. Okay, so we got pregnant 2 months within using this test. Okay, so 2 months of the Clearblue Easy pink cap test, and 1 month using the L-arginine and the B complex. Now, mind you, we're taking all of these supplements at the same time. That pink test only gives you like literally 24 hours. It's like, time to have a baby right now. So every time I saw that smiley face, I was excited because I was like, we can have a baby this month. And, if it didn't happen that month, you go out to dinner, you have a glass of wine, and then you do something else. You try something else next month. So these are the supplements that work for us. I'll go back through to just make it a little bit clearer and concise. And now I just want to let you know that Fertilaid, this is what it looks like now. The packaging, they changed it. I'll insert a picture as well if this isn't that clear. They changed the packaging. And also my husband, he took Fertilaid for men probably about 3 months before we got pregnant as well. So Fertilaid for men does the same thing it does for women. It just balances out their hormones. Like when he started taking it, he was like, man, I feel like I have a lot of energy, because it does have, I think it has ginseng in it. It can increase motility. It can increase, they have one for like sperm count, motility, and a lot of different other supplements if you go to Fairhaven Health's website, which I'll list below as well. So you can get all of these supplements from Amazon, but I'll go through exactly what I took. So at first, the first thing I took, Fertilaid and Ovaboost. So one is 4, one is 3 a day. Took both of these at night, right? Then I took Serrapeptase for 1 month, 5 in the morning, 5 at night. If your stomach can handle it. If it's not, go back down. You know, go to 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Then after 1 month, I only took these 1 in the morning, 1 at night, up until the time I was supposed to ovulate, right? So that whole week, like where you're about to ovulate, I just stopped taking it. So I only took this probably about 12 days out the month, something like that, because I just wanted to be safe. I didn't want it to eat up the baby or anything, even though it's a protein. It's supposed to eat up things that are decaying or pus or extra proteins. I did not want it to like affect the baby. So I only did 1 in the morning, 1 at night after my period, right? So after menstruation, 1 in the morning, 1 at night for about 12 days up until the time you're supposed to ovulate. Then I didn't take it anymore until the next month. Then I took B-complex and l-arginine. This was to move over extra estrogen to increase progesterone in your body, right? I continued these throughout pregnancy until we had her. And I still take them because I just feel better without them. This B-complex is amazing, actually. So I took these, right? And I drank 1 cup of Xian Cao, Mu Cao, just like the Serrapeptase, only up until it was time to ovulate. So these 3 things, only up until it was time to ovulate. I did not take them after, okay? So just menstruation, after you menstruate, up until it was time to ovulate. Then stop them, and then if you're not pregnant, start again, okay? So let me just go over this just to make sure I cleared everything. And the pink ovulation test, which it gives you just that 1 day. And he said a lot of fertility specialists, well, he said the majority of fertility specialists, they recommend that test because the other test is not as accurate, you know? So it only gives you like 24 hours. 24 hours. Like you can take it in the morning, you can take it at night, but it only gives you just 1 day where you have a smiley face or you don't have a smiley face. So I'll insert that as well. And yeah, the B-complex, B6, B12, l-arginine, Serrapeptase. Yep, those are all of the supplements. Oh, also, there were 2 sermons that really helped me throughout this time. So one of them, before we got pregnant, it was called The Principles of Provocation by T.D. Jakes. And I just felt like it spoke to me so good. It's on, I have an Apple phone, you know, so it's on like podcasts, but I'll try to find it on YouTube and link it below. And then after you get pregnant, you get like, you start to worry, you know, because you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm pregnant, is, you know, I don't want to eat anything wrong, like, because you've been waiting so long, like, to get pregnant, like, I don't want to eat anything wrong, I don't want to do anything wrong, I don't want to, like, exercise a lot, I don't want to hurt the baby in any type of way. And so this message is called Do Not Worry, and it really, it helped me while we were pregnant. Like, if I ever felt stressed out or nervous or anxious, it basically was telling you worrying is when you don't have a solution, right? When you're buffering, like when you're thinking about something constantly and you don't have like an end result to that thinking. You know, it's okay to think, it's okay to have like provocative thought. Thought-provoking questions. You can ask yourself all of these things, right? Like, why, am I sleeping right? Am I supposed to be turned over the right way? But if you start thinking about, like the baby being hung up on, or, the cord wrapped around its neck, like all of the time, or when you're driving, are you driving the correct way? Like, turn on that message. Do not worry. And just hopefully like it will go into your spirit. So that's the other two things that helped me so much. I hope that something from this video helped you or will help you on your pregnancy journey. And I wish you all the best of like luck and love and baby dust. So thank you for watching 3 the Smart Way. We hope to see you guys back.